All right, Shalom. I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, Wahar Rakah Kwadash, which in the ancient Hebrew tongue would be the correct names of the Heavenly Father, His beloved Son, and the Holy Spirit. I also would like to give double honors to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much due honors and respect to the sincere brethren out there. There's also laboring in His work. And as always, want to say shalom to the believers, the Akim as well as the Aqua, which will be you brothers along with the sisters that subscribe to this truth as well. So yeah, the topic of this sitting right here is going to be pretty much centered around commitment, in relation to this doctrine and being willing to fully commit to one teaching versus, ear hustling these different camps, which that's not convenient, right now, especially in the time we in, where this truth will not always be at your disposal or readily available due to the famine of the word that's fast approaching. So Jake don't have the luxury of window shopping, man. Okay, there's a certain sense of urgency that comes along with this gospel being presented to you in its purest form. Now, initially, when you first come into this thing, you're going to be exposed to different camps and different groups for the most part, different ideas and different teachings. But eventually, the spirit of discernment should kick in, man. And in that event, you should fully commit to one truth, okay? One gospel, one idea, all right? And this is required of you by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. The best way I can simplify it, if you're dealing with a woman, you're taking care of this woman, breaking bread with her, and, she's playing the field, you might be patient with her at first, but ultimately you're going to give her an ultimatum, man. You're not going to let her handle you. You're going to say, look, man, either you're going to deal with me or not, all right? And that's the approach Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has taken with the children of Israel. There's different avenues, but only the elect is going to return to their power, is going to fully commit to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Matter of fact, let's start off with a quick precept to support this idea found in the book of Ephesians, the 4th chapter. And I start at the 4th verse. It says, there is one body, see, and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling. Yes, so there's one body of men that have the truth. All right? There's not different avenues you can take. There's one hope, which is ultimately you're going to be counted worthy to escape the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and be caught up in what the world know as UFOs, man, which we know to be the chariots of the Most High, you see, and be numbered amongst that precious elk, which is the elect. That's the one hope that we have been called into, man, okay? There's not another outlet. There's no other way out, man. There's one hope, see? It says one Lord, one faith, see? One faith, one baptism, which translates to one belief system. See that? It says one power and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. See that? So there's pretty much one faith, one belief system. And what we just read here, the key word, pretty much the theme is one, man. All right? So there's not, different avenues you can take. You got to fully commit to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Now, when you jump down to the 14th verse, it says that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine. See, let's read this again. It says that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro. Yeah, you're running to and fro. 1 minute you listening to Great Millstone, an hour later you listening to Adam Abbott, man. Which I have nothing personal against Adam Abbott. But the last I heard, when it comes to the microchip, he teaches that the RFID chip is not the mark of the beast, man. So although he teach some truth, he don't teach the 100% truth, which we pride ourselves here at Great Millstone to do. Matter of fact, let me grab that real quick, because a lot of people become offended when we take that stance that we had 100% truth. But the scriptures tell you that here in the latter days, there's going to be a body of men, that one body, that's going to have the 100% truth, man, as a whole. Okay? So instead of you becoming offended in that, you should be encouraged by that, man. All right? So this is the book of 1 John, the 2nd chapter, in the 20th verse. It says, but ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things. See? And ye know all things, man. So you should be encouraged by the fact that the Lord have raised up men who have the 100% truth. You know, if you're in a car with someone and they're skeptical about where they're going, they're not sure where they're going, you're going to be uncomfortable with that, man, versus someone who know where they're going. You'll be more willing to ride with that person. See that? So when you go back to Ephesians, the 4th chapter and the 14th verse again, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine. Yeah, the scriptures don't encourage that, man, for you to be carried about with every wind of doctrine. Okay? The scriptures support the idea of standing stiff for this gospel, man. And it tells you that in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter, when concerning the attributes of the elect, how they stood so stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which translates to this doctrine. You got to be stubborn in righteousness, man. You got to stand stiffly for this doctrine. Okay? You got to be rooted and grounded in Yahushua. You can't be all over the place, see? Again, it says that we be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine. See that? By the sleight of men and cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Yeah. So you have to stand stiffly, meaning you have to fully commit to one doctrine, man. See that? And this is the characteristics of the elect, which the scriptures gives you the characteristics of the elect. And if you was wise, then you would pattern yourself after the elect. Matter of fact, let me get another quick precept before we get into this lesson. This is the book of Colossians, the 3rd chapter, in the 12th verse. It says, put on, therefore, as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering. See? But the point is, the scripture says, put on, therefore, as the elect, meaning pattern yourself after the elect. And what would the elect do? The elect would commit to one doctrine, man. And they're going to follow that one doctrine. Matter of fact, you get this real quick in the book of Revelation, the 14th chapter, in the 4th verse. It says, these are they which were not defiled with women. Yeah, and this women right here is not literal, man. As if the elect is not going to know women. You got a lot of bug outs that'll read that at face value, and they will come to the conclusion that the elect is going to be physical virgins, man. Meaning they would never have sex. No, that women is symbolic to different ideas and philosophies, Salaki, and doctrines. The elect is going to follow one doctrine. See? And that doctrine is going to be the doctrine of the men that the Lord raised up. And the scriptures go into that. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. In the book of Acts, the 2nd chapter, and starting at the 41st verse, it says, then they that gladly received his word, see, that word again, that doctrine, were baptized, and the same day there were added unto them about 3,000 souls, and they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine. See, and they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine. Yeah, and again, that word steadfast translates to standing stiffly, not being all over the place, man. You standing steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine, meaning they didn't sit in the hearing of the apostles, then an hour later they gathered under the Sadducees or the Pharisees or the Sanhedrin, man. No, they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine. See that? It says, then they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, yeah, and that spills over to this very day. That fellowship comes in the form of these epistles, in the form of these videos. Whenever we upload these videos and you brothers and sisters partake in these live streams, that's the fellowship, okay? That's what you'll call fellowship, see? It says, and in breaking of bread, yeah, that's what we do through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. When we rightfully divide this word, that's breaking bread and giving it to you, see? and in breaking of bread, and in prayer. See that? So when you go back to Revelation, the 14th chapter, and the 4th verse again, these are they which were not defiled with women, see, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. Yeah, and that Lamb is symbolic to these teachings, man. We're going to follow what we was taught, okay? We're not going to, listen to the apostles or the elders or whatever men the Lord led you to and presented you with this truth only to listen to someone else, man. You know, that would be considered mixed wine. And if you know anything about drinking, that's not convenient for you, man. You know, here it is, you drinking white liquor and you mix it with brown liquor. You might drink a couple of beers and some yayan. What's going to happen ultimately, man, you're going to vomit it all up. Okay? It says, these are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits of the Most High, and to the Lamb. See that? So the moral of the story is the scriptures gives you the characteristics and the attributes of the elect, man. Okay? And in knowing that, you should pattern yourself after the elect. And we just read scriptures where the elect is not going to follow anything outside of one truth. They're going to fully commit, you know. They're going to display a certain loyalty to Yahushua, which translates to this doctrine. Matter of fact, let's get something to further prove that come to mind. That's the book of, let me see, St. John. Yep, St. John, the 10th chapter. I started the 3rd verse, St. John chapter 10 and verse 3. And again, this is concerning the elect. All right? It says, to him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice. See that? Now do Yahushua, descend to the planet Earth each day and upload a video, man? Or call, the brothers and sisters to gather in a secluded place, and he break the scriptures down and you hear his voice? No, man. The men that you see who the Lord have raised up, we would be that voice. See that? It says, and the sheep hear his voice, see? And he calleth his own sheep by name and leadeth them out. And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, see? For they know his voice, which again is dealing with these teachings. The true sheep is going to follow these teachings, which, by the way, that word follow is symbolic to these subscribers. When you go into Twitter, you have followers. Well, that actually applies to these YouTube channels too. These subscribers, which would be you brothers and sisters, you believers, would be followers, man. See? So you follow Yahushua when you follow the men that he set up. Did not the Apostle Paul say, be ye followers of me as I am of Yahushua? See that? So again it says, and when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him. See? For they know his voice, and a stranger will they not follow. See that? And a stranger will they not follow. Which that's symbolic to these different groups that don't teach this truth in its entirety, man. You shouldn't be subscribing to them or following them. Now, do brothers listen to these different camps? Of course. And for the most part, they teach a lot of truth. But on the flip side, there's a lot of truth that they don't teach, man. See that? So you're going to have brothers that might listen to them, but these would be seasoned brothers, usually brothers that teach this word themselves. But I wouldn't encourage, one who's just coming into this thing to be ear hustling these different groups, man. That's a distraction right there. The scriptures tell you to be single-eyed, and not to turn to the right or the left. And that's in the book of, I think that's Proverbs, the 4th chapter, around the 34th verse on down. All right? So again, it says, and a stranger will they not follow, see? But will flee from him, see? But will flee from him. Hey, and that applies to a lot of men that's in Great Millstone. I know there's brothers in our camp that came into this truth following IUIC and GOCC, but at some point they flee from that madness, man. Okay? See, it said, and a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him. See that? For they know not the voice of strangers. Yeah, these strange doctrines, man. These strange ideas. Case in point, you got ISUPK, talking about John the Baptist wasn't in the truth. Well, if the elect is amongst that group, they're going to flee from that. Okay? Now, this brings me to this lesson, which is going to be centered around a parable spoken in the book of Matthew, the 13th chapter. And also, this is giving you the characteristics, if you will, of the elect and the attributes that they would possess as it concerns having that discernment to figure out who has the truth. Because again, initially when you come into this thing, yeah, you're going to be exposed to different camps, but the Lord have designed the elect with discernment, man. Okay? And with that discernment, you're going to make the right decision, And in that decision, you're going to have the insight, if you will, the mental capacity to say, you know what? This particular group had the truth. This particular teacher has the truth. And in that, you're going to commit to that one teacher. All right? So with no further ado, this is Matthew the 13th chapter. And starting at the 45th verse, it says, again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls. And this really can apply to all of Israel. Okay, we all was seeking goodly pearls, meaning we was looking for the answers, man. Being a downtrodden people, a people oppressed. The first one fired, the last one hired. The butt of all these different nations' jokes. At the bottom of the totem pole, so to speak, in the food chain, if you will. We was looking for answers, man. Okay? That's what this is going into. It says, again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls. So you can apply this to all of Israel, but ultimately it's dealing with the elect, because those amongst the elect was looking for answers too, man. And read on, it says, who, when he had found one pearl, see that word one again, it didn't say multiple pearls, man. You only going to get a pearl. Oh, that's why you heard Jake say, hey, brother dropping jewels, man. That's this knowledge, man. But it didn't say many pearls. It says, once this merchant found one pearl, let's read it again. It says, who, when he had found one pearl, see, of great price, and there's no coincidence that word great is there, man, which we always, highlight, in the fact that the Lord have a play on words. You got to understand, this is the Lord's theatrics, man. Before we got here, before we came under the banner of Great Millstone, that word great was written, man. Okay? And if you're spiritual, you'll pick up on these subtle nuggets that the Lord leave out there, man. Okay? It says, who, when he had found a pearl of great price, see, went and sold all that he had and bought it. Meaning he bought into that doctrine, man. And he sold everything else, man. See? But ultimately, this man was equipped with discernment. See? You got a lot of Jakes out there that still straddling the fence. Why? Because they not equipped with discernment. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me get a precept that pretty much goes hand in hand with this parable right here. Let me get it right here in the book of Proverbs, the 31st chapter. And let me see. All right. Yep, this is Proverbs 31. I start at verse 12. It says, she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. And this she is symbolic to wisdom. Okay? It says, she seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. And that wool is concerning these garments. When you read in the book of Revelation, those who are going to be clothed in white, well, that's due to wisdom, man. Okay, wisdom is going to work with her hands, and she's going to create that wool, that garment for you. See? It says she seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. See? She bringeth her food from afar. Yeah, because when you hear this knowledge, it's not like, for an example, me, myself, it's not like I'm sitting in the house with you, man. The Lord is bringing you this food from afar. You might be across the world. You might be in another state, but the Lord is bringing you that food from afar by way of the internet. See? It says, she is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night. Yeah, meaning right now, in the time of the so-called white man, which is considered the time of darkness. Remember the valley of the shadow of death? This is the time where the Lord chose for this knowledge to spring forth. See? It says, she riseth also while it is yet night, see, and giveth meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. See? She considereth a field and buyeth. Yeah, you just read the merchant who saw that pearl of great value, and he bought it, man. See, so you have to be a company with wisdom. She have to be with you, man. You have to be accompanied with discernment. And that's what the elect is going to have, man. You're going to hear these different groups, and you're going to say, you know what? You're going to consider it, and you're going to buy into the truth, okay? Hey, you know, when you go out and you shop, you usually buy, you know, the one thing that you need. That's a sound mind, okay? It says, she considereth a field and buyeth it, see? With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. See that? So when you go back to Matthew, the 13th chapter, and the 45th verse again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls. Yeah, so we were seeking the answers, all right? Who, when he had found one pearl, see, one pearl of great price, meaning one doctrine, one teaching, one idea, one philosophy, one philosophy. See? It says, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. Meaning he bought into one doctrine. Okay? That's why you hear Jake, they'll say, yeah, I can buy that. You know, they present it with an idea. They might say, you know what, I can buy that. See? But that's what this scripture is going into. All right? So, you know, right now is not the time to still be window shopping, man. You should have the discernment to know where the truth is and where that one pearl of great price is, man. And you should buy it. You should buy into it. See that? So, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that, Lord willing. It was edifying. Till the next time I say shalom.